Hey guys, we're back for another week of this. I felt SpongeBob over here in the corner was fitting because he's doing his evil laugh, and I don't know, this seems like some evil joke or something that we're still here and I'm talking to a computer instead of you guys. So we are going to be solving some more this week. And you might be asking yourself, why, Miss Hughes? We've done so much solving already. How can you make us continue to solve? What else is there left to solve in the entire world? Well, we've done one-step equations, we've done two-step equations, and now we're going to do multi-step equations, which is going to be combining what we did with like terms and what we've done with solving. So we need to remember the principles of both. So we need to remember that our like terms are terms that can go together, such as 3x, 2x, and negative 8x. So if I combine those, I would get a total of negative 3x, and then terms like constant terms 5 plus negative 4, and I would get positive 1. So combining these together, I get negative 3x plus 1. We need to remember that concept, as well as what we've been practicing this last couple of weeks of remembering to isolate the variable by using inverse operations. So that means my addition, I would undo with subtraction. So I'd subtract 8 from both sides. That would cancel out. And I'd get 2x is equal to 14 minus 8, which gives me 6. All right, and to undo the multiplication here, we would use division. So that means we're going to divide both sides by 2, and x is equal to 3. If you feel good with both of these concepts, you are ready to move on. If not, I'm going to link the couple of last week's videos so you can go back and review. Remember to pause me at any point, stop and take notes. This video is for you, not because I like to listen to myself talk. So we're going to put all these concepts together. Woo. Okay. I'm going to start by separating the two sides of my equation. As you can see, 24 is equal to 5x plus 4x minus 6x. If I look, these are all x terms, so these all can be combined. So that's the first step. Okay, step 1 is combine like terms. See, Phoebe's enjoying this process right here. We're going to first combine like terms. So 5x plus 4x minus 6x is 9x minus 6x equals 24. I can see that it can be combined again. So 9x minus 6x is 3x. See, even when I'm not in front of you all teaching, I still say the answer before I mean to. And that equals 24. So 3x equals 24. Divide both sides by 3. And x is equal to 8. Okay, I can check this by plugging x back into this equation or back into the original equation. And this side should equal 24, just like this side. Okay, this can be done, and we can be ending up with two-step equations too. So notice our first step is going to be to combine the like terms. So he's really struggling with the technology today. And I want to look for all of my variable terms. So I see 8y, a positive 8y, and a negative 4y, and I see a plus 5 and a plus 1. So if I combine those, I get 4y. 8y minus 4y is 4y. And I see 5 plus 1, which is 6, and it's positive, so plus 6 equals 46. So that second step in all of this is to solve for variable. Okay, and I'm going to do that by doing my addition and subtraction first. So I see I have a plus 6. And I know I can get rid of addition by using subtraction. So I'm going to subtract 6 from both sides. This side cancels out, and I get 4y is equal to 46 minus 6, which is 40. This operation right here is multiplication. So to undo multiplication, I'm going to divide by what I multiply. And I'm going to do that both sides. Divide y is equal to 10. Okay, and 3 would be that we are checking our solution. Okay, so y is equal to 10. I could go ahead and plug that back in and show that 46 is equal to 46. You'll see the linked video on how to check your equations next. Okay, the other type of like terms that we might encounter are ones using the distributive property. So when we distribute, we take the number that is outside of the parentheses and we distribute it to the two numbers inside the parentheses. So here I have a -3, and I am going to distribute that to the two things inside my parentheses. Paying attention to the fact that my parentheses end and I have two sides to my equation. So this tells me I have 2m, and -3 times m is -3m. And here's the tricky part. I have -3 times -8. And I'm going to put, oops, not going to do that. I'm going to put the triangle right here. Positive, negative, negative. I know a negative times a negative is a positive. So I know I have positive 24. And that's going to equal 1. So if I combine these like terms, I now have 2m minus 3m, which is equal to -1m plus 24, and that's still equal to 1. Remember, I'm trying to get this to be a positive 1m, so I need to get the m by itself. I'm going to subtract 24, because it's the opposite of addition. I get -23 is equal to -1m. To undo multiplication, I'm going to divide by -1. So a negative divided by a negative is a positive, so m is equal to 23. We're going to try that process again, especially with a negative on the outside so that you guys can see how that works. I'm going to make sure to highlight my -2 and even use the arrows to make sure I know what I am multiplying to. So here are my two sides to the equation. I have my -2. Notice that I am not combining 8 times -2 first. I am not doing that because that is not what order of operations calls for. It says that I have to multiply first. So I have -2 times w. I'm going to bring down my 8 too. So -2 times w is -2w. And I have -2 times a positive 4. Go back up to your triangle. A negative times a positive is a negative. And that's going to give me -8 or -8. And that's all equal to 10. So if I look at what I have that is common, I have a positive 8 and I have a -8. If I combine 8, take away 8, that gives me 0. So I could write -2w plus 0 equals 10, but the simpler way to write this would be -2w equals 10. To solve this, I need to do the inverse operation of multiplication, which is division, and divide by -2. And say w is equal to 10 divided by -2 is -5. This is going to be super important that you're paying attention to your positives and negatives and you're following the rules of combining like terms and solving equations. It's going to be your turn to do these. So I would like you to pause here and go ahead and solve these two problems. Notice that this is a +2 and a -5. So use that fun integer triangle to help you with your positive and negatives. All right, you will have an exit ticket at the end of this. Remember, you got this. Pump yourself up. You can do it. Go Math Team.